guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a movie review. I have never done a movie review on my channel before, but this movie, Queen and Slim, really resonated with me and I feel strongly about the movie, and I thought, you know what, why not give it my take on how I perceive the movie to be and how I guess if I enjoyed it or not. If you guys are interested in this movie review, it is going to be spoilers, so I'm just warning you now, if you guys have not seen Queen and Slim, make sure to X out of this video because I will be talking about it in depth. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's get straight into this movie review about Queen and Slim. So, the movie Queen and Slim was directed by Melina Matsoukas. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She directed the film. You guys probably know her from directing a lot of the Beyonce music videos. So she's like well known for doing some of her work. She's a well-known director. And the two actors that play in Queen and Slim are Daniel Kaluuya and also Jodie Turner-Smith. They're like the two main characters in this movie. And the movie is based upon police brutality and how that affects the Black community. I know firsthand, I've had a bunch of experiences where I've been pulled over with my parents, and you know, everyone who is African American has been through that type of scenario. Anytime you get pulled over by the cops, you have this feeling like of dread. This movie is based upon, it takes place in 2019, present day America, and two of the characters, Queen and Slim, they go on a date, a Tinder date, and they do not hit it off right away. They are not feeling each other. We can relate to Queen in a certain sense because she just has a standoffish vibe. She's not really feeling the guy. And she also says to him, like, the reason why I asked you out is because like I just was feeling lonely and I just wanted to hang out with someone. And he's like, you know, I've been messaging you. Why did you contact me after it's been like 2 months? Like, I don't get it. But so they're in a diner, they're having a dinner date, and they are, like I said, talking, they're not feeling each other, and Queen automatically decides, like, listen, I'm not going to be asking you out on a second date because I'm just not feeling you very well. So they don't have the connection. So Slim decides to drive her back home, and they get pulled over by the police. Queen is a lawyer, so she knows a lot about the law, and you automatically feel tense when that happens. So the police officer, the way he comes across in the movie is like he already has them deemed as guilty. Like, he asks for his license registration, what he normally supposed to do. He said you were swerving and you ran a stoplight or something like that happened. So the situation escalates so fast. He gets told to come out and step out the car. He gets frisked and touched to see if he has anything on him, and Queen decides to come out like, listen, you have no deems to do this, search our property, we didn't do anything wrong. She was questioning the guy. Like, in my head the whole time, I'm like, just shut up, like, don't say anything. But you know, in my head I'm thinking she's just gonna make the situation worse. And it's sad to say because we do have rights. We do have the right to know what we're getting pulled over for. So she gets out the vehicle and the cop shoots her in her leg. And at that point, Daniel Kaluuya, who plays Slim, he takes the gun and he shoots the officer. So at that point they decide to run and flee the scene, leaving the officer dead. So after that happens, they're on the run, and you know, they meet up with a bunch of people who help them get to, they're trying to get to a plane to fly across the ocean to get to, I believe, Cuba. And a lot of the scenery in this movie is spectacular, like the cinematography of the land and everything like that. It's really beautiful. I believe this takes place up north. I live in New York, so it takes place up north, and they decided to drive all the way down south to Florida, I believe. And at this point, they go through a bunch of ordeals, and it makes them fall in love with each other. So this is kind of like a love story slash running from their situation. And a lot of the people who step behind them and support them is a lot of the Black community. Like, they help them get to certain points in the movie. So one of my favorite characters along with them too is actually Queen's uncle. He is a war vet, so he's also, I believe, he's a pimp. So he has like 3 extra women who lives in his the place where he residence, and he helps them stay for the night and take care of them and give her money and stuff like that. So he like totally bring a different flair to the movie than what was previously going on. Also, another part in the movie that kind of had my heart racing was the point where they were staying at these Caucasian people's house and they were giving them shelter for this whole situation that was going on, and the police stopped them. So as the police stop them, they come up and they're searching the house and they're searching to see where, you know, what's going on. And the 2 of them, Queen and Slim, is under the bed but under the floorboard. And that whole time I'm like holding my breath, like hoping to God that police don't find them. The uncle gave them information to get to his friend's house where the Caucasian people live. So they left there and they were on the road and they went to a bar / lounge where they were like, you know, they decided to stop and dance and stuff like that. They have like a lot of stops that in your reasonable mind you would not stop for. Like, for instance, like they stopped to ride a horse, which I definitely would have done. They stopped to dance. Like, I understand you want to still live and you think like you're not gonna make it, but it was kind of stupid to do that because you want to have the most highest chance to escape and survive. So the 2 of them become like a symbol of power for the whole Black community, and before they actually make it to where they have to go, their car breaks down. So they meet this mechanic and the mechanic charges them money. He knows who they are. He knows that they're having a terrible time and they need help. So he just still charges them the same amount of money, and he's not really feeling them. So while the car is getting worked on, his son, the mechanic's son, takes them walking along the beach, and he thinks of them as their idol and stuff like that. So his son like really looks up to them. But later in the movie you find out that he goes to a protest and he shoots a Black officer. I didn't like the fact that was even shown in the movie. That was one thing of the movie I did not like at all. So after they get their car fixed, they head out and they have to wait for someone to come and take them to the airport, because that's where they're taking a plane to go over to Cuba. And something didn't seem right about the guy. I forgot the guy's name, but he was an African-American guy and he had like a gold tooth and stuff like that. He came up to the car with like a gun and was like, you know, intimidating them in the car and stuff like that. He's like, oh, I'm here. I'm one of the guys that were sent to take you to the airport. Something seemed fishy, so he took them back to his trailer and was on the phone with the pilot, I believe. And at that point, something seemed off, because as he was on the phone, it kind of seemed like he wasn't on the phone. He was kind of like acting like he was. So and then Queen of Slim's like, listen, we can't wait till tomorrow. We need the plane tonight. Can you get us there? He's like, yeah. So he drives them to the airport and he drops them off. As they're getting out the car, and you can see the plane like probably 100 meters from them, the police come. So at this point, my heart is like racing out of my chest. So they're at a standoff and one of the police officers shoots Queen. And there was no directions to shoot anybody. So she dies in Slim's arms. And I believe at the end they shoot him too. So they both die. I literally was in tears at the end of the movie. You just come to love these 2 characters so much, and the way they die and the unfortunate circumstances that happen to them is just, it's unimaginable. I really was destroyed after the movie. It was sad. And then you see a clip of the same guy who I told you I felt uneasy about, the black guy who took them to the airport. He took the bounty money because there was a bounty out on both of them. Whoever can get them caught by the police would win, I believe, get $150,000. And you can see him counting the money at the end, which was totally sickening to me. It really put a bad taste in my mouth. And that's another thing about how sometimes your own people will turn the other cheek, or will basically turn their backs on you and just do you dirty. So there's a lot of different nuances in this movie about the black experience, and I believe this movie deserves an Emmy, an Oscar. It was tremendously well done. I really love the writing in this movie, and I believe one of the quotes which I want to get on a picture frame is what Queen and Slim say to each other: "Will you be my legacy?" I love this movie. I definitely would give this movie a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Please leave your opinions about the movie if you guys saw it down below. I would love to know what you guys thought about it. I know there was a lot of bad reviews about this movie, but I personally love the movie. There were certain parts that I didn't like so much, but overall, the movie was awesome and I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed this movie review on Queen and Slim. Make sure to give this video a like, and I will see you guys next week with a new video. Bye!